Hello there. Welcome back to Thriving Generation with Dr. G. It's another exciting day and a good day for us to thrive. Today we have with us an awesome thriving mama. I'm very excited about this conversation. She's making it in Ghana. Somebody is working hard to make a difference where she is. Please, let's meet our guest for today. I have with me here our guest, Christal. I would let you introduce yourself to the thriving generation, and then we will keep on with the conversation. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Dr. G. Here. I'm really honored and happy to be here. My name is Christal Beeko. I am a mom of three and 10 years happily married now, which is, yeah, a huge one. It's a huge one.
So it is.
I have, I would say right now, INEN Limited, my main business. I do event planning and PR. And then I have side businesses, which was my vegetable vet business. I did homeschool boxes during COVID times. And then I also do influencing a little bit online, which has also brings in a little bit of, side cash on the side.
Yeah.
But my main core business is INEN Limited, which is I'm an event designer and event planner. And that's my passion. Like, I love it. And I realized I loved it even more during COVID because, I tried my hands at different things. And then I was like, no, it's okay. I can do it, but I'm not passionate about it.
Also know you through the influencing part, and I've seen your work. I've seen some of the things you share. You are trying to stay fit, you are trying to keep family intact, and your work is beautiful. You are taking decoration and home designing to a whole new level. Just talk to us about how you got into this. People spend so many years trying to find what they love doing and can also bring in income. So talk to us about that background.
Well, when I was in uni, I think it was my fourth or third year, I just started thinking about what it is. They say you should find a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life. So I took that very literal. Okay. And I started, okay, well, so let me find something that I enjoy doing. Because I also honestly don't want to feel like every day it's a chore. I'm going somewhere, I'm dragging my feet to whatever job I'm doing. And well, I recognized and realized very early that I enjoy planning events and taking pictures and journal, like doing, I would say, journalistic work, right?
Okay.
And so I started from there. I said, okay, so let me start doing that. I picked up a camera. I bought a camera at the time I was in university. Also my phone. I used my phone, and from friends' parties to the next place, I'd take pictures. Then I started decorating it as well. They're like, "Oh, you don't want me? There's a party coming. Can you please decorate it for me?" And I'd do that as well. So through all of that, I realized that I enjoy doing this. Like, I actually, like, from my heart, it's like a passion. Like, I wake up and I do it and I don't even feel like I'm working. I discovered what I was passionate about. I just looked, funny enough, to when I came out and told my friends, this is what I was thinking of doing. They weren't surprised at all, because this is what I have been doing since I was in high school. Back in the days, I was always planning events, always organizing people, always marketing and doing PR of some sort. So it was my natural flair for things, right?
Yeah.
But then I went to go study economics, and I mean, I enjoyed it. I read it, but it wasn't what moved me. It wasn't what made me wake up, at night, or wake up in the morning and be like, oh my God, what am I going to do? But with events, that's my passion. I'm like, I love visualizing things and transforming a space, whether it's a room, whether it's an event space. And so I'd been doing it all my life. I just had to tap into that and turn it into a business, right? And then, so what I was also saying was that sometimes you also have to look at the need of what people need, right? So during COVID, my events collapsed or stopped completely because of the COVID situation. So then I just started thinking, okay, what are my needs as a mom now? What do I need, and what talents do I have that I can also turn into a business? And at the time, it was homeschooling. A lot of people found it very difficult to homeschool their kids, and everybody, how the world had gone. So I started creating homeschool boxes for children, and it did very well. Like, people were ordering it from international, different countries, and that was also a very nice experience. But I think teaching, I do it for my own, I would say, and I do it because I have to. But I wouldn't say that I'm oh my God, I want to be a teacher for the rest of my life. So it was a need, and I filled the gap. It was a hole in the market. That's what was needed. And I managed to do that while COVID. Just like I also thought about doing gardening during COVID time, because in Ghana anyway, well, I guess everywhere, there was a whole lockdown. And I remember looking around my house and thinking, hey, I spend so much money on my garden, watering, cutting, pruning. Why don't I turn that into making some money and actually grow some vegetables that can feed my family, right? So I just started online. I did research and I became a farmer. And that was it. And I started making planters, home gardening kits and stuff for families. And I got over 50, maybe even 100 families under the whole home gardening, organic farming thing. But again, was that really my passion? I don't know. I don't think so.
I really love something you said, finding the need and filling in that gap. Have you ever felt intimidated to take that step? Because thinking about it, you didn't have any prior experience, or you did have some kind of experience, but not on that scale in terms of the gardening, in terms of the homeschooling. How do you get yourself to take steps like that, bold steps you've never taken before?
I think that sometimes it's not just about, for me, the step, because doing it for me, it's not that hard, but it's about having a backup plan, so that, let's say, for example, if I was doing events, right, and I wanted to do this on the side, it's going to take my energy, right? It's going to take my energy from one thing to the next. Yes. So it's like, do I have that energy, that time to give to this, whether it's time, whether it's financial means, to make something happen, or to start another project or another business altogether. So for me, that's the fear aspect of it, because if you don't have enough time or you don't have enough capital to start any business, obviously sometimes you also don't, is that foresight of like, will it work or will it not work? That fear of like, that can be a little bit tricky as well. But when I was doing, for instance, the homeschool boxes, there was no other option. So, and it was minimal. I went in with minimal capital and I just tried to see what would happen with it, and it grew. But I didn't go full force in with like spending a lot of money that I didn't know what I was going to get back. I always looked at it like, okay, let's say I started investing 2,000 CDs, which was maybe for $400, let's say. And then I started the business, did for a few friends, they paid for it. And then I used the money from there to start making more and then reinvesting into the business. Same with the vegetables. What I did was I did it for myself first, my family, because I actually wanted to use it. I wanted to have an organic farm in my house. Okay. And then from that, I learned from my mistakes and I corrected myself, and then other people were interested in it. So then they would prepay. So there wasn't much capital put into it. So it was just a matter of, they were interested. I would send it to them and then I'd make my money from it. And that was it. Because it wasn't also my core business. But I think to start off any business, you've got to do a lot of planning. You've got to strategize on how you're going to approach your business and who you're gonna market to,
Yeah.
where clients from, and then also your customer service aspect of things is delivering what you've promised people. So from experience, that first initial jump can be scary, but trust me, when you do it, you look back and you're like, oh, I should have done this a long time ago.
Yes.
So don't be afraid of like trying, and like, if it fails, oh well, nobody's going to be like, oh, well, your business failed. And so it's your business. You move on to the next thing, right? So getting that mind that somebody will judge you or someone will look at you and be like, oh, she failed. Because there's no such thing. People can fail so many businesses and finally make a big hit,
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that information. Sometimes we see the influencers, we see the successful people, and all that we see is the success. Have you encountered challenges along the way, or you have always had it smooth?
I wish. Oh my gosh, that's always a challenge somewhere. Always. I mean, even with events, which I'm very passionate about, you have challenges with your vendors, you have challenges with first, even to get your name out there. There's a lot of like free for people. I was undercharging in some cases just to be able to show what I could do for people, right?
Yeah.
And then once your work gets out there and people start seeing what you're capable of doing, then you establish the trust, and then you can charge for it, right? So, there's the challenge of like getting your name out there and getting people to know who you are. Then there's the challenge of having the business in Ghana and having the right skill set that can also help you to get to where you need to. For me, I find in my business, I had to almost become a teacher on so many levels, like to teach my staff how I wanted them to do things and which direction I wanted them, how to, get a mood board together, how to do a budget, so it was always like teaching employees from scratch. And then they also grew. And then eventually I was able to trust them with some of my clients. And then I could grow my business that way. Because then when I'm concentrating on something else, a staff member is concentrating on that I've already trained them on how to do. So yeah, I mean, those that you could then, who knew what to do, I probably couldn't afford them at the time when I started, right? So I had to manage, and kind of like, it's like you're just playing a game of like, okay, this is where I can cut costs, and this is where I can use skills to improve the person to be able to handle what it is that I need them to handle, right? I go and get someone in the field who already knows what to do, I probably can't afford them, and I would lose out on all the money that I'm using to even put the business in the first place, right? So, but I think also a lot has changed from like COVID times, whereas before I would have an office and like I'd be paying overhead costs with office and internet and this and that. Now the culture has changed in such a way that it's more, consultancy. So I'd get someone, I do most of the work myself, and then I'll get my vendors as and when they're needed, right? Versus someone just all day wasting time. So I don't know if I've gone off topic a little bit.
No, you are on topic. You are talking about challenges involved
right.
in work. Yeah.
There is a lot of challenges in that aspect. Because for instance, before, whether I had clients or not, I still have to pay my employees.
Yes.
Right? Whereas now times have changed, and if I have a client, I don't have to pay anybody. I don't have any overhead costs with an office, air condition blowing, and internet costs. I cut all those things out because I recognize and realize that I can do it without doing all those things, right? So, and then, I mean, as for getting the clients, there's always an event. Somebody always needs work, some event, some party. I'm in the business of entertaining people. So there's always, someone always wants to do something. So, yeah.
I just love how you are involved in your work. It's not, I haven't seen you yet as the boss, and then these are my workers. All your events, you are part of it. And I think I followed the one on Candyland. And then we're all dressed in that fun costume, and you were part of it, your hair, everything. And that just brings joy. I'm sure your clients will be very happy with that.
Oh,
Very happy.
I'm happy. I was happy. They gave me a chance to be a child again. I always tell them.
I hope you didn't eat too much candy.
No.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah,
let me play the devil's advocate here. As people who are trying to start, still talking about challenges, when we think about bringing others on board, we fear that the idea will be stolen. Did you have that fear that as I'm teaching this person this technique, this person is even going to leave and go with the idea? And how did you overcome that fear if you did have it?
So that's the thing. I have never had that fear.
Okay.
I got one advice from a friend of mine. It was actually, client / friend. And she had said something that was so profound, and it has stuck with me up to this day. She said, there's enough to go around to all of us. So what she was basically stating is that Ghana is so big. There's so many people, right? There's enough events to be shared everybody.
Wow.
Right? And it made me realize that none of us are really in competition. You're in competition with yourself, right? So if, for instance, I've trained you to the point at which you're even able to start your own events company one day, all the better. It makes me feel even good and feel proud that, after you worked with me, you were able to start your own something. And I also believe that we're all, those in the events industry anyway, we're all artists in our own way. The way that I would put my table setting and my colors together, it almost as if you can never do the same thing because you will have your own style and your own, idea. By the time you come and think that you've copied my idea, I've already done mine. I'm done.
Moving on.
I've gone to the next, you know what I mean? So so that never worried, because I also know like what I also bring to my clients, the kind of relationship that I create with my client, the kind of conversations and the kind of service I provide to my client. I guess believe in what I do, and I love what I do. This is why it says the passion, because if you love what you do truly and you're doing, your clients see it, it shows through your work. Even the person coming to understudy, you can feel the energy, so it's never been a concern of mine. There's enough jobs to go around everybody. So my only hope is that they wouldn't be trying to do it while working with me. That would be because obviously that's conflict of interest. So that I would have a problem with. But I am more than happy to always teach everything that I know in my field to whoever is interested and wants to learn and help to make, the events better.
That's amazing. That's a great attitude. That's a very, very great attitude. Anyway, so before we wrap up, there are two things on my mind. I think we have to clarify who you are and where you are from. I didn't ask that question. So in case viewers are wondering, are you Ghanaian or you're a foreigner in Ghana? You have to clarify that.
Yes, absolutely. So I am very Ghanaian. I'm almost, I would like to say 100%, but the truth is I am mixed. So my dad's Swiss and my mom's Ghanaian.
Okay.
So I was born and bred in Ghana, and I have lived here almost all my life, except when I went to university, when I went to Canada to study a bit and I came down. So I spoke Tree before I even spoke English. So that's just to show you how intensely Ghanaian that I am. I love my food. I mean, when your mom is Ghanaian, whatever nationality your mother is, I don't want to say that your father, because I just know for my situation, it's like you know how they say your mother tongue. It's like your mother raised you. Your mother is a Ghanaian. There is only one way that you can be Ghanaian as well. So, of course, dad's there and you go travel. I visited Switzerland a few times, but, I can't even connect. I even feel shy sometimes saying I'm Swiss. So yeah, very, very, very Ghanaian.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. And I know you promote Ghana as well and made in Ghana stuff and the language. You speak with your staff, you speak with your children. I know because you are promoting some of my product too. You are so happy with my chi product. So I know that for sure. You are not just saying it, you really practice it. That's amazing. Thank you so much for that. Before we let you go, people are looking at you and they believe that you've made it or you're on the way to making it. This is what this channel is about. People are thriving in different areas of their life. So bringing us that information, we will learn from it and we'll also try to thrive in our generation. What would you tell others watching you right now who are just sitting back? They have goals, they have ambition, but for one reason or the other, they are not doing it. What would you say to them?
Well, I would say you have to strategize on how you're going to achieve your goals. You've got to put a vision board together. You've got to decide, where do you see yourself in a year time from now? Set some deadlines, set some goals, create a visual representation of what you want to achieve in your life. And then you're just going to have to start narrowing down to it. Once you've created the vision, this is where you want to go. You need to work towards it, right? One step at a time, one day at a time. If you don't have a vision, if you don't have a plan, that means you're just planning to fail because you're not really strategizing. You don't even have a goal. You're just floating, just roaming in the universe, right?
Yeah.
But if you created a goal for yourself, whether it's business, whether it's family, whether it's how your children will be, you set those goals for yourself and you try and accomplish them every single day. It will amaze you how much if you just write something down and say, hey, I want to accomplish this thing by next year, how your body and your natural decisions in life is just gonna gear you and shove you towards your path of reaching your goal. It just is, because at the back of your mind is there. You've put it there that this is what you accomplish. Yeah. Unless you don't try, and unless you don't take that first step. Right? So strategize, have a plan, have goals, and work towards them. And of course, add prayers to it, because there's a lot of things that happen. There's life that happens in between your goals and you, right? So we don't add prayers to you to give you direction, to help, let the Holy Spirit guide you every step of the way. Yes. Then you be running a rat race. You'll be busy every day. You'll be busy doing something busy, because everybody's social media will just drive you crazy right now.
Yes.
Hey, let me also do some. Let me copy. No. Take your time. Steady. Take your time. Just be steady and have your goals, have your plan, and just achieve them one. Then by end of the year, you just check, I did this, I accomplished. Some of the things you will not accomplish, and it's okay. Some things you will not accomplish. It's absolutely okay. Push them to your next year goal and see where it is that what you didn't do for you to be able to accomplish that, and start doing those things as well. Yeah. Baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. We're all running our own race. We're all writing our own stories, right? You're not going to write my story. My story is not going to be your story. How I even do things may not be how it will work for you if you copy me exactly the same. Wow. So we all have our own story. We all have, and all we have to do, write it down, follow the plan, pray about it, and just go for it.
Wow. Wow. This is so good. I'm like, oh, this is so good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. We are grateful for your time. We are grateful for the information you've shared. Is there anything on your mind that you feel you want to share with the thriving generation before you go? Do you feel like there's something you really wanted to share, but you haven't had the chance yet?
Well, I do have this, what's the word? I have this big project that I have to do for myself, for my country. And it's been very scary as well. It's about ending poverty in Ghana. And I've been praying a lot about it. I've been asking God for direction. And finally, I feel like He's shown me the way to go. And part of the main plan or dream is to have schools all over Ghana, or selected regions or places in less deprived areas, that is going to change our mindset, right, as Ghanaians, so that we can achieve everything that we truly need to achieve for our country. I believe a lot is happening in Ghana that we complain about, right? But I think I'm past the complaining part. And I'm more in the part of let's do it. Let's do the little we can do in our different corners. And so I've stopped complaining. And I'm looking at things more as the cup half full and celebrating our success stories in Ghana, what we have actually accomplished, how far we have come. And yes, we have things that we need to get to and things that need to be improved. But instead of seeing it as who should I complain about, who should I blame for doing this wrong, do this, that wrong, flip it around and see how can I make that difference in my corner. Yeah. So going through that route of, I think for me, my project is, the educational system, and not even just the educational system. Actually, I want to just raise individuals with a certain mindset who can now become adults who will then be change makers for their community. And in effect, it'll be a snowball effect that will hopefully go through a ripple effect in the whole country and end poverty.
Wow. You are speaking my language.
Pray for me, because as we're sitting here, the idea has landed in me. Like, I feel like God has spoken to me on what needs to happen, how it needs to happen. I need to, like I've been advising all of you, I need to put it down on paper. I need to make a plan. I don't know where I'm going to get the land from. I don't know how I'm going to build that school structure. And most importantly, I don't even know which teachers are going to buy my idea to travel to the villages to teach these kids and change their mind, the mindset change that I'm talking about. But it will happen.
It will happen.
It will happen in Jesus' name.
Amen. It will happen. And the first thing is to take the action. And you are doing that already with the idea and stuff. So anybody listening to us, if you have ideas on how to get the land, if you also have similar interests and you want to collaborate, where can we find you? Where should we reach out to you?
That's a good one. You see, maybe this is what was meant to happen. Someone will see this and be like, hey, I have land in this village. I have money for this.
Yeah,
school.
It can happen.
I'd love to volunteer my time and my services to this concept. That'd be amazing.
So where should they reach out to you? Where can we find you? Where is the best place to message you?
Oh, they can Instagram message me. So at Christal Beeko is Christal is Christal and Beeko is Beeko.
And I'll put the link in the description as well.
You can send me like a DM and then let's just get started. No more complaining. Let's just move.
Let's change the narrative. We can do it. We can do it. Yes, let's all come together and change Ghana for good. Yes, we can do it. This is amazing. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you. We appreciate what you are doing for Ghana. We are cheering you on. And please, you are always welcome to come back on the Thriving Generation channel.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much. So you out there, reach out to Christal if you have ideas, or if you just want to collaborate on another level, please do. Let's make the narrative different. We love Ghana. We love Africa and want to see Africa thrive. What did you learn from this conversation? Please leave them in the comments below and we'll be back to check them out. We wish you the very best. Bye.
Bye.